Hello Bangaloreans. In the hot seat with me today is Mr. Avani Kumar Varma, Principal Chief Conservator of Forests and Managing Director of Karnataka State Forest Industries Corporation. What is this department doing to stop indiscriminate felling of trees in Bangalore? Is tree plantation proportionate to tree felling? What is the extent of land reserved as forest in and around Bangalore? Is more land being added to Bannerghatta National Park to avoid animal-human conflict? Let us ask Mr. Varma these questions and many more. Welcome, Mr. Varma.
Thank you, Balram sir. I am pleased to be here.
Mr. Varma, trees are being felled indiscriminately every other day in Bangalore, be it for road widening or building of flyovers and underpasses. Doesn't your department have any control over Bangalore's green cover? Don't you intervene?
Balram sir, I must tell here that Forest Department has made a lot of rules. In fact, Karnataka was one of the first states to invoke Karnataka Tree Preservation Act, which is specifically meant for controlling tree fellings in urban, rural and semi-rural areas and semi-urban areas. So, there is a law in the place, there are acts according to which there is a particular method prescribed for any felling of trees. The trees can be felled only if they are dangerous to either the property or the life, or they have attained silviculture maturity, etc., etc. Then there is a rule to plant two saplings for every tree felled. Now, that being the case, and this act came in 1976. Well, till the developmental works took over Bangalore's landscape, these acts were fairly and reasonably being implemented. About 5-6 years back, the pressure of development became so much that the policy makers and administrators, they started finding fault with the Forest Department that you are coming in the way. Your acts are very, very tough and it results in delayed tactics, etc., and there our development cannot wait. So, one fine day, government issued an order transferring the tree felling permission from Forest Department to BBMP. So, now the control over allowing felling or otherwise fully rests with BBMP. I am sorry to accept that the role of Forest Department as such has been reduced in controlling tree felling. This must be an information for people, because everyone blames Forest Department when it comes to finding fault with any government agency. But here the earlier stage has not or has been, it needs to be revoked, because as long as the felling permissions were with Forest Department, there was a reasonable amount of control. I am not saying now BBMP is also being managed by a couple of forest officers. They have been sent on deputation. They are also expected and they are following. But when the department was there as a department, and now these officers are part of BBMP, and most of the development is taking place in BBMP areas. So, when the development agency and the tree felling agency, allowing agency, they become same, maybe it is difficult to resist the pressure which is always there in any developmental activities.
So, Mr. Varma, what you are saying is BBMP is responsible for tree felling or tree planting in Bangalore. You are no more responsible for Bangalore's tree felling or tree plantation.
We are very much one of the agencies for tree plantations. Now, tree plantations in Bangalore are taken by Forest Department, Urban Forest Division as we call them, BBMP, Forest Division, BDA, Forest Division. Now, there are three agencies which are working most of the time in tandem to raise the trees into the various
So, Mr. Varma, what you are saying is, you plant trees, BB keeps cutting trees.
I should not be, well, it's very difficult to blame any other government sister agency, but maybe they should be little bit more circumspect. That is because, after all, everyone is a stakeholder.
Mr. Varma, are you happy with the way BBMP is functioning as far as tree cutting is concerned? Lot of trees are being felled all over Bangalore.
In the last couple of years, as I submitted in the beginning, the developmental pressure, be it metro or be it anything, road widening, etc., etc., it has taken over the or accelerated the pace of tree felling, and as an individual, I would say that we are not so happy about this thing. There are alternatives. We are always ready to find alternatives. One of the alternatives, as you yourself have seen, is on the cantonment road, that is from Mekri Circle to up TV tower station, where the trees have been allowed to remain as a median. So, but the point is, when there is a pressure, no, this road cannot wait, this widening cannot take place, and then there is a political pressure also. It is not that only officials pressure there. Possibly the BBMP officials are working under
Mr. Varma, when people are protesting, shouldn't the government listen to it?
Well, people are a very important stakeholder, so we must listen. Yes, we must give at least fair amount of consideration to their concerns. Yes, I agree with you.
Is it true no plantation work was taken up in Bangalore urban district during 2010-2011?
If you take as the district per se, some plantations have been done by BDA, by BBMP, and to some extent by urban forest division also. But the figure, the fact which you are recounting here probably deals with the urban forest division, which do not have got enough budget and enough area to work on it, because most of the work gets done by BBMP and BDA. They have planted certain trees. As far as your first question, that just before that, that is the proportionate thing is being maintained, I would say no, because Bangalore, urban city as we call it, has only around 5% of area under tree cover. It should be minimum 20-25% at the state average. So you can see the gap is almost 3-4 times.
It's a dangerous situation.
It is quite concerning.
Mr. Verma, has your department done any study about the extent of damage done to Bangalore's green cover in the last 1 decade? How was it 10 years ago? How is it now?
Yes, Forest Department had prepared a GIS based remote sensing satellite imagery based study about 3 years back, which showed some of these concerning issues like the degradation of the forest in the eastern belt, the Rishabhavati valleys catchment area getting disappeared, and the general tree cover getting reduced. It has been further confirmed by Forest Survey of India report, which does once in 2 years. 2009 report is the figure which I quoted, that Bangalore cities out of 2190 square kilometer area, only around 130 square kilometers under tree cover. Whereas once upon a time, it was almost 10%. So we have lost half of the forest in the last 10 to 15 years.
Mr. Verma, is multiplicity of agencies responsible for the diminishing green cover in Bangalore? There are too many agencies.
I think that you are right, because once earlier when only Green Belt Division was formed, it was the first division in the entire country to have one Indira Vriya award for raising millions of trees in Bangalore. Now slowly over a period of time, with all these agencies coming, in fact it should be helping the cause, but unfortunately because of this multiplicity, it has its negative effect. I think we must come back to the original what you call position in which large scale lung spaces are created by Forest Department and small tree parks, a little bit let us say street planting or some park development etc. is done by these civic agencies. No doubt, again they may say your forest officers are with us, yes, but who is controlling them? Not the superior forest officer, not the technically superior person who otherwise would be controlling him in the department. So what is to be planted, where is it to be planted, how is it to be maintained? In fact, it is very sad to see that almost 150 to 200 rupees are spent on so-called tree guard, bamboo tree guard, and saplings are planted, then no further care taken. Again, I should not be taken, it should not be taken that as if I am blaming X agency or Y agency, but the experience has been that multiplicity of the organization probably should be done away with in massive tree planting program.
Mr. Verma, you feel Forest Department should be back in action?
Absolutely. In fact, I have been voting, I am a strong votary for it, but unfortunately, once we surrender any power, it is difficult to get it back. I won't use the word power, the responsibility.
Very difficult to get back the power.
Yes.
Nicely said, Mr. Verma.